Hello everybody, welcome to our channel. My name is Maggie. My sister-in-law Dee, she will be doing the uploading videos and the editing. We are so happy and glad to be part of you guys' journey and appreciate you guys being part of ours to create this beautiful pieces of art. Thank you so much for being here. Please do subscribe, like, share, comment. It's very important to us, and it also helps us to grow the channel. We appreciate. Thank you very much. We'll also be leaving in the description box the details on the yarn, size, colors. Hopefully you can find it in your countries. I know some countries do not have certain yarn colors. If you're interested on ordering, you could always email us. We'll leave the email in the description box and the size, color, numbers. I'm using needle number 3. This is 4, number 4 thread, which is different colors, and it makes beautiful patterns. I will also be creating different types of flowers in the future. So if you're interested on that, please leave us your comments. It's very important to us. Don't forget to tag us, share. And let's get started on this beautiful piece. So we will start by making a chain of 55 stitches. So we'll make the turn and make the first stitch. And we will do 55 chain stitch. And I'll meet you right at the end. So now we're going to go ahead after we make the 55 stitch. We're going to go ahead and we're going to backspace 4. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So on your fourth one, you are going to make 1 loop, go in it, pull it out, and make your first stitch. And you're going to do that to every single one space on the chain until the end of the chain. So it's going to look like this, and you're going to go all the way to the end. I'll meet you at the end. Now we've reached the end. We will make 3 stitch and turn our work around. Now, because we made 3 stitch, we need to make 1 more stitch for space. You will go in the same space as your first one, and you will make another. So it's going to leave you a little loop there. You will give 1 stitch and make on the same hole another little stick, as I call them. So now you have 3. Now you're going to give 2 stitch, and you're going to skip 1. You'll go into the next one. You're going to make 3 stitches into the next one, and into the next one, and it's actually going to be 5, sorry about that, into the next one, and into the next one. So we have 5 of them here. We are going to do 1 stitch we are going to skip one and go into the next one. Now we're going to make groups of little squares. One stitch, skip one, into the next one. And we're going to do that to the end here. And we're going to repeat the same 3 little loops on the same hole in the end of the last stitch here. Okay, so we're almost at the end. And we need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 1. We're going to do the same 5 as we did from the beginning, one after another, no space. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we did our 5, no space. We're going to do 1, 2 stitch. We're going to skip this one, and we're going to go right into the corner of this one here. And we're going to do our 3 little loops. So we have 1 done. Yes, 1 space, back into it, 1 space, and back in the same one. So we have the 3 little loops inside of the same one. We're going to go up 1, 2, 3, turn our work. Now we're going to go back into the first loop and make 3, 2, 3. So now we have 3 in the same loop, 1 at the edge, 2 inside. 1, 2 stitch, we're going into the next loop, and we're going to make 3 more. 1, 2, 3. So now we have 3 inside of each one. We're going to make 2 stitch, 1, 2. We are going to go to our first stitch, overlap it, and do on top of it for each one. Sorry, we need to do 2 in the same one. The first one, we're doing 2 little sticks on the same one because we are extending 1 for each other one on top of the 5 underneath. So 3, 2 stitch, 3, 2 stitch, 2 on the same, 2 in the same hole in the first one, 1 right next to it, another one next to it, another. So we're filling the 5 in the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As you saw from the beginning, we had 5. Now we're going 6, then we're going 7, and then we're going to 8, and to 9, and to 10. So basically, we're just extending all of the patterns on here. As you can see, the one that it has been made already. So this is what we're doing. And we need to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rows of the same ones. So since we have 6, we are going to continue to make these little squares. We're gonna do 1 stitch and go to the next little square on top of it. Make another square. And we're going to do 1 stitch and on top of the other square. 1 stitch and over the other square. 1 stitch and over the other square. One stitch. We are going over the 5 in the bottom. So we're doing only 1 here. Next, we're doing 1. Next, we're doing another 1. Next, we're doing another 1. When we get to the last one, we need to make 2 on the same place. 1, 2. Same thing as we did from the beginning, because we're extending. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 also. 1, 2, 2 stitch, and we're going into the first loop and doing 3 inside of the same loop as we did from the start. Two stitch, we're going into the next loop. We're doing 3 on the same one. Now, when you get to the end, you want to make sure that you get well in the corner on top of the other one so it can stay all even on the same thing. So this is it. We're going to go there is no stitch here. We're going to turn our work, and we want to get in the middle one here. So we are going to go in the first one, bring it out, and the next one, bring it out, and then inside of the space we're going to create those little loops again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One more for space. We're going to turn once, and now we have 2. 1 space, and we have the 3 little loops. So now that we have the 3 little loops, we're going to do 2 stitch, 1, 2. We're going to turn once, and we're going to go right on the first one. One stitch. We're going to do another one on the same one because we are extending. So there's 2 on the same one. Now every other one is just 1 singular. So we're doing 1 per each. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now you have 7, and it goes on 8, next row 9. So don't forget, beginning 2 stitch in 1, the rest is single. These little squares, you must have 20 of them. 20 little squares before you hit all of the stitch together. Now we're hitting the end of the stitches overlapping. So we're at the end of these ones. We're going to go on the last one, and we're making 2 stitch in the same one. 1, 2. We are going inside of the last loop and making those 3 little loops. So 1 for space, 1 more for space. So now you have your 3 little loops. You're going to do 1, 2, 3, turn your work, and we're going to continue repeating the same thing. Going inside of the loop, we're going to make 2 more. It's going to equal 3. 1, 2, the next loop, 3 more inside. One, 2 stitch. We are going on the first one, and we're making 2 on the same one, and the rest follows by itself, 1 per each. And this is how it's going to be. So we need to do 10 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 more. So it's going to end up like this. Okay? And I'll meet you at the end for the finalization. Okay, so let's say that you've done all of your 6, all of your 6. So you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, okay, so in my pattern, I have it 6 times. 6 of these. Okay, so 6 times. Once you make 6 times these, it's a pretty good size already of the pattern. Okay, so 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you're supposed to have 10 rows of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So 10 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4 until 10. On your 10th row, we are going to the last line of stitch. So what we do is, try to get this a little bit closer. We are going to go from here until the 5th one here. So we need to walk it, as I call it. So we're going to go in, pull it out, in, pull it out, in, pull it out, in, even over the 2-stitch loop we're going over. So in, pull it out, we're walking through it. Okay, so now we pretty much reached where all the little groups of sticks are. Okay. So pretty much at the end of your last row, you are supposed to have 14 of these all together. Okay, so being that it's the last row, we are going to do, we're going to walk it to the 5th one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, one more to the 5th one, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, one more for space. We're making those 3 little loops, and we're going to go, you can take it from the outside now, on the same loop, and we're going to do 1 for space, and we're making the 3 little loops inside on the 5th one. Then we're going to do 1, 2, and we're going to count to the 5th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you go into the 5th one and you do the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then you do the 5 stitches one after another. Until the last one. One, and we're going to the little square spaces. 1, and we do the little square until the next. So now we've reached the last square. 1 stitch. We're going to the next loop, and we're going to do 5. Same thing as we created in the beginning. So basically, we are doing the same thing. We're finalizing the same way as we started with 5. So you do your 5, one, 2, and you count 5 more spaces. So once you've counted 5 more spaces, you go in, you make your 3 little loops, 1 for separation, 1 for separation, so it's 3 on the same place. Okay. Okay, you guys, so now you are going to go in through all of these because we need to get to the first one here. And we're going to make 1, 2, 3, 1 inside of the square space, and 1 for each one. You're going to make 1 on each space of the holes. So we're closing up. This is the last row. And 1 inside of the space. And we go on top. And inside of the space until the end. So you have the 3 loops. You would make 1 inside of the square and 1 only on the first loop. And this is it. This is the end result. You cut your thread and you pretty much tie it and do it as you like. So basically it would be this end result right here. So then we can attach our basket on the first line. Well, thank you so much, and follow up with the next video, the second video for the basket tutorial and how to put onto your pattern. Thank you, everybody. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and join me in the next videos. Thank you so much. Okay, so basically, once you've done your 10 rows, right? You've done your 10 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On your 10th row, we're going to walk through the 5th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th one. So we can make the 3 little loops and restart making 10 again. We'll be doing that 6 times. So 6 times of 10 rows. Walk through it. And then go to the next one, 10 rows. Walk through it to the 5th one and start the 3 little loops, the next line, and walk 6 times for the length of the pattern. So what you would do, you would walk through, you would walk through inside to hide the stitch, take it out, pull in, take it out, go where we made a 2 chain space, take it out, go to the next one, take it out, next one, take it out, next one, take it out, next one, take it out. This is where we have the 2 space before all of them. So walking through it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on your 5th one, you can start again. 1, 2, 3. One more for space, so it will be 4. On the same place, you can actually grab it from the inside. One space on the same place, and there you go, your 3 little loops. So you're starting all over again up to 10 rows, and then you would again 1, 2, and you'd count again 5 space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, count 5 space again, and do your 5 so you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On your 5th one, you start again your 5 sticks, no spaces, one on top of the other, and there you go. You're starting all over again like the beginning. Then once you go on your 2nd row here again, you will have to put 2 in one space, always adding 2 in one space. The 1st row you don't add 2, it's 5. 2nd row you add 2 on the same space. 3rd row you add 2 on the same space. Coming to the end will be the same thing. You'll end it with 2 on the same space. Not on this 1st row. This 1st row will only be 5. So basically, you will do your squares now. So 1 stitch, square. So you're going to follow. Once you get to the last square, you're going to do your 5 stitches, your 5 sticks, as I call them. So you're going to do 5 at the end. 2 stitch. You will count 5 more, and you'll make your loop. 1 stitch on the same hole, 1 stitch on the same hole. So you're going to have your little loop at the end. You're going to turn your work. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we're starting all over again. So you're going to make 3 on the same place, 2 inside and 1 on the corner. 1, 2, next loop. And you'll be making 3 inside. 1, 2, and you're going to make 2 on the same loop. 1 and the same place, 2. Then continue until the end. You're going to continue doing it, make your squares, do your little sticks on top of the stick, the last one 2 on the same place, 2 space, you're going to make 3 on the same loop, 2 space, and 2 here and 1 in the corner, so it can all stay steady. Okay.